Hello everyone and welcome to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play role-playing games with vim, vigour and pace. We try to keep things to 2 hours or less, and you're in for an exciting ride. If you've not seen before, we have done a Delta Green scenario, which is what we're going to do again tonight, so do head over and look at Burning Desire on the YouTube channel if you've not seen it, because there's a slight change up of characters. I'll not tell you why that is, you'll just have to go and watch the episode and see why my good friend Guy's playing a different character this time, although not totally unknown to viewers of the first episode. So, it's going to be a Cthulhu-ish type adventure that might be death, dismemberments, mental trauma, personal injury, body horror, all kinds of things might go on. Content warning for you there. So, if you're of a sensitive disposition, do take care, because there's mature themes in this episode, but it will be an exciting time for all. So, I'm one of the hosts, Gaz, also host of the WhatWoulDTheSmartPartyDo.com podcast, the UK's premier RPG podcast. But my other co-host for Unconventional GMs is Guy. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us who you're playing?
I would, yeah. I'm Guy from the Burn After Running blog, and also this, of course, although obviously Gaz is running today, not me. I'm playing Agent Paskey. If you've viewed the previous episode, you may remember Agent Paskey and be surprised that he's now a player character. Because he was a rather unhinged, some would say obsessive, former agent then. I'm pleased to say that he's had a very thorough course of psychotherapy and is now entirely calm. He has mindfulness exercises that he does regularly. He has lots of sort of nicotine chewing gum to take the edge off when he needs to do it, and he's a completely different character, completely turned over a new leaf, and is entirely on the straight and narrow and entirely cleared to serve and investigate again, thanks in no small part to his partner in this investigation.
And talking of him, Tasha, would you like to introduce yourself and who you are playing, please?
I would love to. My name is Tasha, and I'm a co-founder of Ukrainian actual play YouTube channel idearoll. Like and subscribe. And today I'm playing Agent Cornwell, who has successfully survived the previous episode. Agent Cornwell is a professional psychiatrist with a day job of an FBI agent and mysterious ways of Delta Green. She's been through some stuff. Probably not very psychologically stable anymore, and definitely has a weird development of relationship with a partner because, well, you know, she used to work with a different partner for a long time, and now she has to adjust.
Life's full of challenges, isn't it? It's full of struggle. So, we'll begin. Delta Green is a shadowy organisation that sits sort of beneath other American organisations like the FBI or whoever. Are they official? Are they properly backed to now? So if you imagine this scenario a little bit like the X-Files, except instead of Mulder and Scully, we've got Cornwell and Paskey, who some would say a much better team, perhaps others would say is a dubious choice, but we'll find out. Everyone's got different skill sets. Keen-eyed viewers will notice on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll be able to see some faces already. When they kind of greyed out as they are now, it means our players can't, but during the game I'll be chucking NPCs in there, and there's probably more than will fit in that box. But it may help you keep up with what's going on as I throw faces around. But rest assured that our players can see all of them on their Roll20 screen, so they'll have like their little mortarboard of who's around and what their names are and things like that. So, you've received another call, a night at the opera as it's sometimes called, and this has got elements of flashback for Cornwell and maybe even Paskey, but from on the other side of the phone, because when every Delta Green team goes on a mission, they get a burner phone and told if there's any problems, ring this. And perhaps for many years you thought there was some like elite unit would help you, and it turns out that the other end of that burner phone is another set of people just like you who get called in. And that's what's happened this time. You've received a call from a D cell, so it's Agent Dagger and Agent Dynamo, who are going under the pseudonyms of David Jones and Diana Jones. They had attended on the behest of Suzanne Holt, who is a Delta Green friendly, someone not actually part of the conspiracy but helps out, who'd found some discoveries in Botany Bay, a small town on the coast, and they'd headed out there to go and investigate, and you got a panicked call from them screaming for help, which was quickly cut off. So you've burned rubber through the night to get there, and it's taking a long time. You're a good few hours away, so you've basically not had any sleep and just taken it in turns to tag team it on the driving across the country from state to state. And you've just now arriving, looking at this coastal town you can see beneath you in a bay. There's a long island which creates a natural harbour, and there's the faint bit of smoke around a building on that sort of island, but otherwise it looks like quite a quaint town. Other information that you might have is that the agents were stopping at the Botany Hotel, which apparently was the only hotel there, but that's where they were stationed. I'll stick some faces up now for you on the little display area, so you've got the names of your agents, and Suzanne Holt, who's the friendly. She was a marine biologist, and that's pretty much the information that you've got. They had attended at her behest. Something had gone terribly wrong. You've been called in, but you're not entirely sure, apart from that, what's going on. So you've got a couple of choices. You could just head into the centre of town, look for people. You could contact law enforcement. You could maybe go to the hotel. You could go to the burnt out building on the island across the bay, or you could do something else of your own choosing. What's your initial reactions amongst yourselves, and where do you think you might head?
Definitely not go into burned facility. Not the first call.
No, I think that's. I mean, if it's already burnt out, it might be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's avoid that. Maybe we start at the hotel and see if we
Sounds very
can
reasonable.
find where they're staying. Maybe they're. I mean, maybe they're okay. Maybe they just panicked.
Forgot to inform us that they are already okay.
Yeah, lost the phone or something. I'm sure it'll be. Yeah.
That's probably what's going on, isn't it? I'm highly confident here. Okay, you drive down into town, and it's kind of on the north side. You can see the hotel along its own little road that overlooks not the ocean, because there is that long island, as I mentioned, the way, but it is over the sea with a deep channel across. So there's the call of seabirds, the smell of the ocean that you get, which is sometimes pleasant and sometimes smells of rotting things, but nevertheless has got a salty tang to it. And as you pull up, you notice it's quite a small building, really. It looks like a large house rather than actually like a hotel you get in a city or something like that. And it's just like a big 4-bedroom place or something like that, probably. And the owner lets out the other rooms is the sort of thing it looks like. You don't see a federal car or anything like that. So if there is, there are vehicles parked around the place generally, but there's not one noticeably that will be a Delta Green Teams car, if you know what I mean. And as you head up, it's got peeling paint. It's white painted, but that's starting to come off with the salty air. But there's lots of accoutrement around of the sort of like the seaside and the ocean. So there's like a buoy and some netting and some like seashells plastered about the place, and all that kind of like chintzy kind of stuff you'd expect in this sort of place. And as you knock on the door or ring the bell, eventually a lady comes out to greet you. Judy Ledbetter, I will inform you now, although she just introduced herself as Judy at the first time. And she's quite smiley. She's middle-aged, but looks quite perky, rosy-cheeked. She's got an apron on. She's got flour on her hands, probably just been baking. Well, you hope that's what she'd be doing. But what she's been doing, if it's not that, you're not entirely sure. But she just greets, hello, would you like a room? Sorry, she starts like trying to dust her hands down on her apron.
We might need a room. We're meeting our friends here, the Joneses. I understand they were staying here. They were here, but they left. I think they had to go last night. That's right. Right? Did they check out?
Yes. But you could have their room actually. Because happily they've just vacated, so there's a roof, and it's the sea view one as well.
That would be ideal.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, good. Well, and she invites you in. She's got a little desk to one side that she gets you to signing in book and stuff. And you're, I don't know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith or whatever you say your names are.
Did they by any chance mention where they were going? Because we had an agreement to meet here, and we're a bit confused.
Oh no! I think were they travelling down the coast or something? I think they had plans to see lots of places, and we were just a little stop off on the way. It was a lovely couple. Do hope to see them again soon. Oh, it's good to know they've got friends. They recommended you already. I'll have to check TripAdvisor later. Maybe we've got like lots of positive ratings.
Yeah, we'll make sure to leave good reviews. But what time did they leave approximately?
I think. I'd have to check, and
that would be lovely if you could do it for us.
She picks up the book that you signed and pulls it away, and you both notice as she's doing that, when she sort of says, "I'll have to check on," etc., that there's kind of like a time in, time out thing that people sign as it go, and there's it there, and she was still blank. So it got the day they arrived, but it hadn't been entered in that they went. Oh yeah, I'll just check this, and she kind of walks through into a little sitting room thing she's got, and you hear the faint scratching of a pen going. Oh yeah, it was last night, last thing apparently. I mean, I said they could stop and have a nice early breakfast, but apparently they wanted to get to the next attraction really early, and it's quite a long drive, they said, so they had to leave.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, just while we're here, what we'll probably stay. We won't want to drive set off straight up in the morning. Is there anything? What is there to do in this town? If we wanted to, we'll be able to catch them up tomorrow, I'm sure. What's going on?
Oh well, there's I mean I'd normally say the Alderman Hall was a lovely old wooden building we have, but I think there was an accident or something last night, so I'll probably stay away from there now. And
last night, really? So suddenly? Oh.
Yeah, I know. Such a shame. I do hope your friends got to see it before something happened to it. There's like the golf course, and then there's a fish market. If you go down there first thing in the morning, like all the boats will have come in, and you can get some nice, lovely fresh fish and stuff like that. And then we have a lovely camping ground that's just up on that raised hill you can see behind town. That's got amazing views, and people quite often come and just camp out there and watch things and maybe have a little barbecue and get the s'mores going and stuff like that. Very homely, but yeah, it's any kind of like wholesome activity like that's great here. We don't have any of those big city attractions, but if you're just a nice couple who likes nice things, then you'll love it. It's amazing. It's peaceful.
That certainly sounds like right up our street. Yeah, we'll just check in and then see what we fancy doing.
Okay, and she goes and fetches you a key and shows you to the room, which has big double beds with like the wrought iron stuff on it, and these really sort of like lacy sheets and duvet covers and stuff like that. All the seats have got coverings over and extra cushions, and there's a pair of French windows that open up onto some back stairs that kind of head down into looks like quite a dangerous sort of path down towards the sea, if you will. It's all kind of knobbly and broken, and take your time, you'll be fine going down there, but you wouldn't want to do it in the night or something like that, for example. And wow. Can you both actually make search rolls for me, I want to say? Yeah, search.
You're about to say spot hidden there, weren't you?
And yeah, well, I don't know. Should I go alertness? Is it search? Is it spot hidden? Is it?
Yeah.
So is it sanity? It's one of those. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Both successful.
You're so good in it.
Yeah. So I guess Paskey, you sort of head outside, and it's one of those times where you'd normally go and have a cigarette or something, but obviously you just get out the Nicorette Grum and have a bit of a pop of one or two of those, and you definitely note that there's drag marks outside, and also like boot prints or footprints or whatever. It looks like it's been hastily brushed over. Someone's tried to, but there's just like that quarter of a foot here or there, or a couple like parallel lines where someone's fingers maybe have dragged or something like that. So it's been covered up. There's clearly the signs that someone was taken away from here. And I guess Cornwell, just checking the doors and stuff, it doesn't look like there's any break-ins or anything, but you can see that the door must have been like unlatched. So the doors have got locks on with the key and everything on the inside, and there's also like a little latch that maybe you could get a knife through and knock off or something, but if you didn't have a key, you don't know how someone would get in without it looking like it had been broken into. So either the agents were fairly happy with leaving the back door open or something, or someone let them in or was given the facility to let themselves in.
And they've been dragged away. I mean, we'll share this information. So they were dragged away from the hotel.
You presume so. I mean, there's a struggle. Some people were dragged around and it's tried to be covered up, but they're not here now, so they weren't. It's unlikely they were dragged into the hotel, you think. It's more likely they're dragged away from it. In fact, you probably see around as well on the rocks nearby, as you kind of like peering over, you think you can see a couple of spots of blood as well.
Oh no.
A couple of dark stains.
There are also somebody messed with the door. See this ledge here? What time of day is it now?
So you've driven all night, so it's quite early morning. It's probably like the town's just starting to wake up and people are sort of opening the shutters on their little coffee shops and things like that.
Well, I guess if this is the agents, if this is where they called us, we should like search the area. If they've been dragged out of here, where can they have gone? See if they were taken to a vehicle or down to the sea.
Well, there is a very, very promising, not ladder, but staircase down to the beach. Probably not very many people just pass by, so I would say it could be a good place if I wanted to drag someone down.
Yeah, well, let's have a look, because they could, like, I mean, they're probably still alive, aren't they? If it was last night.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's also possible that they dragged someone out of here.
Yeah. Probably they just had to leave. Yeah, that's possible as well. Yeah.
Positive thinking. Okay, let's go check it out.
You do so. So, like I say, there's no rolls required. If you're taking your time during the day, it's easy to get down, although challenging. And on the way down, you are quite sure it is blood that you found in a spatter. You would suspect someone cracked the head or something on the way down, and that's. I mean, you've got a great medical doctor with you and all the rest of it, so like it's quite easy to sort of go like, yep, that's where someone hit the head, that sort of thing. And then curiously as well, you note what would possibly be climbing gear marks or something like that, but it could be claw marks. The scratches, as if something or someone got the way up with the aid of equipment or was naturally equipped to be able to do that. Yeah. Which only because of your previous experience with various entities does raise the hairs on the back of your neck. And getting down towards the bottom, there isn't much of a beach. It's quite a deep channel, and what there is shale and stones and pebbles, and it very quickly tapers off and goes down into a deep channel, so ships can sail through it, if you know what I mean. It's not somewhere where you'd hang out to have a picnic. It's obviously like there's cliff, a little bit of kind of rockiness that presumably gets, as the tide comes in, just gets swallowed up completely at certain points. And then it's this deep blue-grey, slaty. It doesn't look a nice, at this particular part anyway, it doesn't look like a nice place to go for a swim or anything like it. It looks dark and foreboding.
And what's the other side? So in this channel, what's the other side? Is there anything? What can we see like directly across? From
looking up and down, you can see to the north it kind of opens up into the sea, and or the ocean, and then similarly down south it will. But to the south, you notice there's a bridge spanning across to the opposite island, and the opposite island looks similar. It's not quite as steep and craggy, but there's no beach to speak of on this side, and further south beyond the bridge, you can see that opens out into a proper harbour. So you can see a constructed seawall and things like that, and some boats bobbing about, and the frontage of like the fish market and a couple of warehouses and seafront cafe shops and stuff like that. So it's kind of. Sorry, go on.
There's a bridge across, isn't there, to the south?
That's right.
Sorry, I've just found the map as well, which saved me asking some of those things. But yeah, there's a bridge across to the south as well, so we can get across, can't we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a simplistic map, but it'll just give you an idea of kind of where you are and where some of the features are around the place.
Where is the burnt place, which had
So that's
incident yesterday. Can we see it from here?
Yeah, well, you can see there's still a bit of smoke kind of Alderman's Hall, so by the golf course to the south, which you can't see from down here, but you could when you're up at the hotel. You can see a little golf course, and then this, what was probably like a very nice old wooden building, which is not looking quite so good now and smouldering a little bit.
Are there any boats on the beach?
So as I said, like this part where is like a channel between two bits of land, and it's not really a beach. The boats are down to the south where the fish market is. Beyond there, there's an actual harbour that's been built up with a concrete wharf around it and proper docks and a quayside. So the south part of town is where you'd find boats and things like that.
While we're here, you mentioned the definitely not claws marks. Can we try and track them from where? Where is the first place they appear?
It looks like something climbed up from the foot of the cliff up towards the hotel.
From the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of look around, there's not a lot else here apart from the water.
So, well, I think this is enough poking around by the sea. We should probably check out the recommended tourist sites of this place. Maybe starting with that burnt out hall. I know we weren't keen before to try it, but can't quite get it out of my mind now if it burnt down last night.
I'm not quite keen even now, but this does seem a very logical choice.
We can pass by the fish market on the way, maybe.
Oh, so you prefer fish smell to aroma of fresh burnt house in the morning?
Yeah, I don't really like the smell of burning houses anymore. Not that I was a huge fan before. And there's like looks off suddenly into the middle distance. Watch them all come in. Let's go to the fish market. Come on. Just hearing counting his breathing.
I'm probably unconsciously touching some of my burned marks on the hands, which are obviously covered by long sleeves and everything, but I know they're there.
Spoilers for viewers at home. Go and watch the episode. Okay, you clamber back up. It's not too difficult. It's just quite arduous. And so it's mid-morning when you head actually into the town proper. It's not a massive town, but it's I mean, you imagine in winter it would be like desolate, more or less. But as it's sort of like late spring, early summer, it's quite nice. There's lots of little cafes and a gelato shop and other bits of like mum and pop stores on the seafront. And plenty of people kind of like starting to bustle about, do the business. Looks like there's some fish has been coming in. There's some of the boats that have been out fishing earlier have started to come back into the harbour. So there is plenty of activity around the fish market when you get there. It's a big, long warehouse-like building with a couple of outbuildings and attached bits and offices and things like that. Lots of lined up plastic tubs full of ice with various different catches that have been put in there. Guys around him, rubber boots and overcoats with hairnets on and stuff, shouting prices at each other and shifting stuff around. But nothing particularly out of the ordinary. Just seems quite successful though. Like you're not sure what the rate of fishing would be in a place like this, but it looks like every boat that's coming in has got a decent catch, and there's plenty of people around to buy their stocks. Presumably, it all gets like stuck in a truck and sent to one of the nearby cities and sold in a fancy restaurant for 20 times the price they buy it here.
Cool. Is there like a cafe or anything?
Yeah, there is.
Sit down and we try and engage some locals in conversation about. Well, start with like, oh, how's business? What are the fish like? And then steer it towards, what about that burning building? When did that happen? Did anything else unusual happen nearby or?
We were recommended to visit it. It is so sad that something happened to it just recently.
Sure. So can you make a persuade roll for me?
No.
Yeah. So everybody's quite polite with you, and they start to. Everybody's saying, "Oh, I've no idea. Oh, it's terrible. It's such a lovely old building. That's been there since the village was founded. I mean, now we're more of a town, but oh, I can't believe it. Like the wonderful carvings, And they kind of gone, and you've kind of got like the old people crowd who want someone to talk to, but they're not particularly forthcoming in terms of useful information. So it is quite a relief, perhaps, when a young woman walks in. She looks a bit red. I guess Paskey, you've got a bit of a past, so you recognise this. Insomnia, probably taking some uppers or something, bit jittery after a exciting night and staying awake too long. She's got that look about her. Quite a bit of a smile on her face. She comes in, slaps some coins down on the counter, says, "Oh, black coffee, will you, darling? Oh, God, yeah. Oh, so sleepy, but I'm wired. Do you ever feel like that?" And she's looking around at these kind of 60 and 70-year-old people in this cafe who are just like, what? And it's
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
She's like, "Oh, you know what I mean, don't you? Oh, you're nice." And she's like plonks herself down on your table and looks at you, Cornwell. And she's kind of looking at you and like just touches the side of your face a little bit. "God, aren't you pretty? Look at that bone structure." Oh,
thank you. Looking good yourself. How's the coffee here?
Oh, it's awful, but when you need to stay awake, it's it's not awful. I mean, and she like looks a bit mortified that she said that out loud. Everybody heard it.
We actually also had a busy night, so yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, really? What did you get up to? What were you doing?
Nothing fun, just driving. We were recommended this fantastic little town.
Really? Not a lot happens here, I'm going to be honest with you, but I mean,
that's the feeling I have, but do you know some fun places to go? Or maybe something exciting happens here since we're here already.
I hear there was a fire last night, and she starts giggling to herself. And the little bell above the door goes again as someone else walks in, and there's a youngish guy who's got a stern look upon his face. He's got police chief. You're not sure a place like this would have a chief, but that's how he styled himself. He's got a big badge with chief on the shoulders, and he's wearing the sort of brownish uniform. Got the utility belt with the gun and the taser and the bat and all that kind of malarkey. And he looks over at her and goes, "Bedtime for you." And just like starts to like physically start trying to drag her out. So he's going, "Oh, I've just got a coffee. Leave me alone." It's like, "You've done quite enough tonight. Bed."
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened? Can we help? We were in the middle of conversation here.
Yeah, no. Well, you can maybe just speak to the night. Like, she needs to come with me, and she's been sulky, but she's not particularly fighting back. So she lets herself be dragged up, and she looks at you, Cole, and says, "Oh, maybe we can." Maybe later on, me and you can meet up, and gives an exaggerated wink as he's like pulling away, going like, "No, there's been some trouble in town. I know you look. I guess you're from out of town. Look, there was a fire last night. It's like these sort of things don't happen, and all we need is everybody to remain calm. So just behave yourselves." He says somewhat unnecessarily at you, and starts pulling her out.
Well, is the site closed for visiting then?
I mean, yes, he says, but he doesn't seem entirely sure himself. And then the little bell of the shop goes again as he pulls her and drags her out, sticks him in his pickup truck. And you can see she's just like moaning at him and stuff, and he drives off looking angry and just screeches off, driving her away from you.
Well, if it's closed for visiting, I guess we can't go. Or maybe we should still go.
Oh, it's such a shame, says someone there, but like, it's a lovely old building.
I was looking forward to seeing the carvings, what remains of them, yeah.
Well, but surely it's not like fully burned. Maybe some smaller structures still remain and they're worth checking out. I heard it was quite a property.
Okay, you finish up your...
Actually, I would leave my partner in the cafe and go for a short walk around the fish market, trying to engage into conversation with the local fishermen advertising for their goods, and I would probably try to ask about how their business is going. Is there been anything strange regarding the amount or type of fish in the water? I would probably say that I heard that the neighboring village had problems because most of the fish migrated or something, and are they experiencing similar problems? and stuff like that.
Sure. Can you make a human roll for me, please?
I think I do.
You're having no problem engaging with them. You know, a lady coming into that environment is a lot of men who've been out on sea a lot, and they have no problem at all. Yeah, success. Yeah, they're all over it. They're saying like their fish is bountiful. They're full of the usual sort of stories of like, oh, that the village down the road, oh, they're useless. That town, like, and there's usual kind of like rivalries you get between close communities. But yeah, looking around, everything looks like bountiful. It's the best fish market you've seen, I don't know, outside of Singapore or something. There's a cat that jumps in and tries to grab some fish and is quickly pulled out of the way. But the men, like, they seem like almost pleased to see you. And there's a lot of you're going to come out smelling a little bit of fish because there's a lot of backslapping. I know it's nice. I love it. Oh, it's great to see someone who's got an interest in what we do. Like, you get a lot of people from out of town that are like, they're judgmental. They're quite sniffy. They've got things to say. But you seem having a local interest.
Judgmental about making good job, and I mean, this is literally the best fish market I saw, and we've been traveling quite a while with my husband here.
And yeah, there's a little crowd of them that have gathered around you. They're like, oh yeah, you'll never see a better one again.
Do I have a feeling that maybe they're doing a bit too well with the fish?
You've not really got anything to compare it to, but they're definitely not struggling. It's like, you know, this is...
Okay, then I ask
good.
For some recommendations and maybe ask them to leave something they recommend for me to pick up later, and maybe that we will ask our blend lady to cook it for us, since we're in a hotel and we cannot cook for ourselves, but we are very interested in trying local cuisine. Yeah,
and they're, you know, as is typical with a bunch of middle-aged men, they're all falling over on themselves to like show you the best thing, and like, no, she wants to try my skate, you know, that's and so you end up with like a small bag just full of different things that someone can run up to the hotel for you.
Cool.
Yeah, while this is going on, I might just I mean, this is like modern day, like literally modern day, isn't it? This is like time. I'm just gonna, you know, now that we know the name of the place that burnt down, I'll just like quickly bring up on my phone if there's any sort of news reports of it burning down or any sort of local history website.
There's no news of it, but then you're in quite a small town, and you know it'll probably be in the paper today or on local radio maybe, but yeah, there's nothing like that. There's definitely like entries you can find. It's one of the only points of interest on here, apart from like a small golf course and, you know, a campsite. There's not a lot else if you don't come in for the fish or other things like that to visit for the day. So you can get some photos of it in black and white. It was made probably about 100 years ago, something of that nature. It's got intricate carvings, and you know it's one of those things that's been here as long as there's been a settlement here almost. If you know, might even be 200 years old, or it's kind of the Triggers broom thing where like as stuff's got replaced, is it still the original building as it's been played board by board over the years? But yeah, so it's the Alderman Hall, and it's where the seat of local government sits, if you will. That's where all the council folk would meet and everything, but it's quite a bit of a traditional old building that people have treasured.
Cool. Well, I'll save that site in my browser or whatever, then get ready to head back. But what have you bought fish? Why have you bought fish, Cornwell?
I don't have fish on me. It's been delivered to the hotel. Why don't you like fish?
It's just like just a bit of a lot. Like, I mean, okay, is it cover? Is that the idea?
No, not really. I just wanted to talk to them about their business. It looks that they're doing great, much better than many neighboring villages, and I don't think they're putting a lot of effort into their fish business. Might be something in it, because, you know, after the marks we saw on the shore, I thought that maybe recently they had problems because something is eating the fish. It's not.
Yeah, well, just, I mean, yeah, you can have the fish before. I just like microplastics and stuff. You just need to be careful. You just don't know these days.
Oh, I'm not going to eat this fish because it was sent to the hotel, and this lovely lady will cook it for us, having the nice opportunity to stuff it with sleeping pills or whatever. we better eat here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, should we get to the hall before they
Yeah, obviously.
see what's happening?
Okay, you
Stuff some more like chewing gum as well.
Probably taking coffee
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
absolutely. So you head across the bridge, which is a decent modern construction. There's probably something else here before, but now it's 60s concrete, something like that. It's arched slightly so that moderate-sized vessels can sail underneath it, but nothing particularly noteworthy of it when you get to the other side. On the island itself opposite, you note that it's a lot greener and not been as built on as the shorefront that you're at and the big warehouses and stuff. So there's a lot of open space. There is a golf course. It's probably a half-sized one with 9 holes, but nevertheless a nice, beautiful open place next to the Alderman's Hall. And some of the bits and pieces, a couple of beach houses and, long sandy drives. And you notice that on the island, that on the far side and towards the ends, it tapers more. So there is actual proper beach if you wanted to. Like, this is what you imagine as beach rather than what you saw in the channel before. Getting up to the driveway of the Alderman's Hall, there's a few little outbuildings, but the main structure itself is still largely intact. If you imagine it'd be a village hall in the UK. I'm not sure what the Ukrainian equivalent is. You'll have to forgive me, Tasha, but I presume you have similar things in villages where there's a big hall where everybody meets. It looks like that sort of thing. It's made of dark wood, or at least dark stained wood. There's lots of carvings in it. It's partially burnt on one side, so like where the side door was and some of the windows, there's now a bit of a hole rather than a door. And it looks like the fire did get put out because, thankfully there is like a large supply of water very close by, which helped. But it's clearly been damaged, and there's a bunch of people standing around and a bit of recriminations as well. So I'll try and chuck some more over here. The guy who's at the centre, who seems to be getting like most of the people talking about him, you would presume is, I don't know, the mayor or the chief alderman or something like that. Just got to fiddle with my tokens so I can get them ordered correctly. So Mayor Hayden, I'll call him so that we all know who he is, just for the sake of ease. He's stood around. He's looking a bit agitated, but basically looks like he's trying to calm people down and get the situation under control. There's a guy in a volunteer firefighter's get-up that's around that's like trying to get his attention. There's also a couple of the guys who look like they might be the other aldermen or other councillors or whatever you want to call them. This guy that you will find out later is called Kevin Chen. He's also got his wife with him, Rupa, and you also see there's a smarmy looking, more suited kind of guy who, again, via introductions you'll find out is called Steve Bateman, and his wife as well. And they're like the little huddle where most of the activity is. There are some other unlockers as well who were kind of commenting and saying, oh, isn't it awful? Or just trying to, rub their neck and get their heads in and to have a look at what's going on and stuff. But that seems the knot of the main people who were talking about what's going on. What do you used to do?
Probably join the crowd, and before engaging into any conversation or at least initiating them, to get the feeling. I mean, I know what they're talking about, the fire, but maybe there is some local talk about, like, I don't know, we know that Billy did it, or something like that. Something they might discuss in between themselves.
The talk is more like, well, how did she get him? I can't believe that happened. Well, I blame the sun and all that. So it's a bit kind of plain pronoun game, but it sounds like people kind of know what happened to a degree, and they're all trying to like work out how it happened and why no one stopped it and that kind of thing.
I wonder if if you talk to them, I'll do this sort of thing. You talk to them, and I'll try and like poke around and actually
Okay.
search the area. Does that sound like a?
Then I'll probably play a disappointed turret, saying like, "Oh my goodness, this looks like it's been a marvelous house. We were recommended to come here and have a look. Oh, it's a shame, and it also looks like happened quite recently. Oh, it's my bad luck again. What happened?"
Okay, can you make a persuade for me to see how successful you are at both distracting people and trying to tease out a little bit of information? And Cornwell, do you want to make a stealth roll for me just to see how much time you're going to get in there before someone grabs hold of you and says what you do?
Paskey.
Paskey, sorry.
Not long in either case. Yeah.
Alright, so it's going to be a quick visit, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, the stupid tourists.
So I've got Paskey, I'll do you first then as you get in. And obviously from past experience, being in a burning building is not good for you, so you start to get that twitchy feeling about you. You look around and it's clear to you that the fire started inside the building, like something was started here. It's actually, no, do you want to make a forensics roll if you've got any? Well, even if you haven't got any, do you want to make a forensics roll?
I mean, yeah, I've got a 0% chance. Let's see.
Right. Okay.
There's
Well,
a way of doing it.
it.
It's a failure, funny enough, yeah.
What you know about forensics is that Cornwell's really good at forensics. So you're not sure what happened, but it's clear that the fire started more or less in the middle of the room, in the big hall, and then spread out from there. And clearly, like, it's been put out, but it's not obvious that it's accidental or it's on purpose necessarily, but it was definitely started inside with some kind of accelerants here. So it's not like a gas stove explosion or somebody set fire from outside or anything like that. It's definitely in the building it happened. You also notice... Oh, do you notice? Make a search roll for me. No, not at all. What you get is the strong smell of bleach, and you can see lots of, like, a couple of mops and buckets. There's a hose nearby, and the building, what you would expect for this sort of building, well varnished, cured, ancient, whatever, is that it'd be well looked after. You wouldn't use harsh cleaning agents, but clearly some people have been in here and, like, absolutely scrubbed it clean, and you know the varnish is starting to peel up on the on the bits that were okay. It's starting to look less than okay now because it's been well cleared, and it's kind of at that point that someone should out of there, sunshine. We can't.
Well, I think we see like a cut scene of Paskey, like, imagining the scene, like sort of Sherlock style, of being in a burning building and he's turning this way and that, but then it's clear that it's the nightclub from 3 missions ago. It's not this building at all. Back again, like, Cornwell's there, but she's like dragging him out, and he trips over a bucket or something, makes it really obvious, like falls over the hazard tape and is like completely beside himself.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, I need to go get him. He's so clumsy. Let me help you, darling.
Yeah. So you the people who were talking in kind of a huddle with all this going on are not, like, now sort of like obviously watching what they say. So nobody's, giving anything away particular anymore. Are you going to try and leverage the fact that you're an FBI agent, or are you going to maintain your kind of cover that you're just visiting?
No, just visiting.
Okay. The bits that you did manage to get from little bits of conversation was Kevin Chen was talking about, well, that's the last straw, we should just leave. And his wife seemed like quite annoyed with him for even bringing it up. So that's a snippet that you got. Steve Bateman and wife were sort of like saying, well, it's about time somebody else took over, and Mayor Hayden's like trying to rebuff them and say, look, I'm in charge. I'll sort all this out, don't worry. I know it's a problem. I know we're going to have trouble later, but I will get it fixed. Don't you worry about it. And there seems to be a bit of, like, sort of jockeying between them as well. What the other thing you probably notice as you're helping Paskey up, that you hadn't probably spotted initially anyway, because you were busy focusing on what was going on, is that there's it's not a coroner's vehicle, or not obviously a coroner's vehicle, but a dark extended, like, station wagon that's coming. You see it drive away, and there's something in the back of it through the darkened glass you can see, so you presume there's some kind of victim or someone that maybe was in here when it happened, or more than one person perhaps, but, like, bodies have been taken away.
Oh, Oh, so someone died in a fire.
Yeah, no one's mentioned that, and there's no sign of it inside.
Yeah.
But you do notice, like, because of the training you two guys have had, and you've been around this sort of situation, like you go, oh, that's one of those guys. That's what that's for.
And I do have some forensics.
So based on our knowledge, like, is that going to go to like is that going to be like driven away to the big city now, or is that going to go and stay in some local surgery that we could break into? So
I'm not going to make you make a failed law roll now. So what? You've got a basic level of skill between you where you can just get answers for things like this.
Yeah.
So you would expect, if it's a murder investigation or something like that, it will probably go to somewhere bigger with better facilities to get a proper autopsy. If, for example, someone was like not wanting to report it as that, and it was just an accidental death or something, or if it even got reported at all, then yes, there would be a local, probably a building attached to the local doctor's office or something like that. There'll be a municipal building where it'll be taken, possibly with a morgue attached or whatever, or a crematorium or something. But yeah, there'll be somewhere local it's going, you imagine, because there's not. Otherwise, you'd expect a bigger police presence and stuff like that, and people being interviewed and all those kind of things. So it's not like it's been treated in that way that you can tell.
Yeah, and we've just seen Sheriff
Jimmy
in town instead of being here.
Yeah, he didn't seem too bothered, did he? Particularly that bothered, did he? No, maybe we can try and find that body later on.
I guess I'm helping you to get up, and we are going to some little bench or something, and initially I'm making a little scene like, oh, are you alright? And then we're sitting and like discussing session. Like, so, have you seen there are bodies? So there were victims.
Started with accelerant too, from inside. This is another. It's another arson. It's happening again. It's happening again, Cornwell. It's happening again.
Obviously it is happening again. I noticed too. But we have to be calm and confident. So, do you want to go to the house, or do you want to go to the morgue, or do you want to go to sheriff and play FBI card?
I think we need to play FBI card at some point, don't we? Let's see what the
well,
sheriff.
Yeah,
seemed
but
to
just not with a crowd.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a mayor or sheriff maybe.
Let's see if we can get the sheriff on side. He seemed easily swayed. And then maybe we can check out this whatever's in that back of that car that has been dropped off at a body.
Okay. And also, I had a feeling that this is not the first thing that happened here. Maybe not
Definitely
that big. Keep an eye. Maybe you'll see some other burned or abandoned properties.
Burning buildings. I see them all the time.
There is a difference between burned and burning.
Yeah.
Maybe to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's probably around lunchtime. Where do you think you might head? There's probably also there's a missing marine biologist as well. Just to remind you.
Oh, I totally forgot. Well, could you please remind us what do we know about her?
So
the agents tried to protect her, or picking up some information from her?
Yeah, the information you got is that she's a friendly, so she's not part of Delta Green per se, but works with you sometimes. She'd been working in the area and found something that she thought was dangerous enough or weird enough that she should call Delta Green in to investigate it. And that's why Dagger and Dynamo, the unit, had been sent out here to sort that out. So they were on a mission to try and work out what was going on and how to help her. And they got in trouble, and that's when you got a call saying...
Okay, thank you. Do we know if she was like local, or she was here
No.
on a business trip or something?
She was here to look at the marine life in the area and that kind of thing. So there's presumably some reason why she chose this area, but yeah, she's from that
Are
town.
there other hotels around?
There's one hotel, and you are stopping in it.
I think we pay visit the police chief, and we play the FBI card with him on his own. See if we can get him on side. I don't think we'll get anywhere with these with the actual mayor and stuff. Although you said that Kevin Chen was talking about leaving. if we don't get anywhere with the chief, he might be someone to try and give us the straight story about what's happening.
We can surely try.
But yeah, let's go have an old-fashioned FBI chat to the chief, like in the good old days.
Always goes so well. There's usually a helpful chief, isn't it? He'll just give you loads of information and all the support he can.
Obviously.
So, yeah.
I mean, we'll lock the door first before we start talking to him. Before we show the badge.
Okay, you go and head to the office where you presume Chief Jimmy's going to be by now. You can both make alertness rolls for me as well, actually, while we're here.
Using up all these failures now.
Yeah, that's you'll get the important rolls later.
Yeah.
Go team!
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. It's because you're not in FBI mode yet. It's because you're both still in tourist mode.
We're just gonna die before figuring anything out.
Yeah, we're just having a moment of like, Kamarov would know what to do, wouldn't he? Just like this remembering.
It's yeah. All you get then is you do get a sense of being watched. But every time you look around, like no one's actually looking at you from what you can tell, and there's no one being suspicious or anything like that beyond the normal for like some new people in town. But you get a feeling like you're being tailed or watched in some way, but you can't quite spot what it is or why you're getting that feeling. So you head into the centre of the small town and find the sheriff's office. American viewers are going to love all my mixing and matching of various terms for law enforcement and official positions in America, but it's just revenge for all the butchery of British stuff that we get when we watch US shows. So you get to the sheriff's office with the chief of police who's a local cop. It's fine. So the local law enforcement, and he's in his office. There's a woman who's dressed as a cop as well, for want of a better phrase, but clearly is just a woman who's reaching retirement, who's there to get the coffees and answer the phone and type stuff up and that kind of thing. So she just smiles at you now. She's got those little glasses with the chain that goes down that hooks around her neck, and she's got an extra cardigan on over her police shirt, and she's like, hello dearie, how can I help?
We would love to talk to the sheriff, if we please. And I'm on the way here, we bought some more coffee to go because we did have a busy night. And I grabbed a cappuccino,
Sure.
an extra cappuccino for her. So I'm putting this mug. It's not a mug.
A cup.
A cup, yeah.
You would call it, yeah. So she takes that and looks inside and goes, "Oh, frothy one. Well, posh. I don't normally get a frothy one."
I had a feeling you have a busy work here, and coffee would never hurt.
Oh, look at you! Won't believe how much paperwork they make me do. I'm sure some of this is unnecessary as well, like all the parking fines and I just don't know. And and she starts to like ramble off till you pull her back on track again into, is the chief? He's not in a very good mood though. Are you sure you want to see him? He was in an awful temper this morning. I've not been able to speak to him. I just keep the door closed now. There's no point when he's like this.
Yeah, we need to speak to him.
All right then. And she has a couple of girls at pressing the right button on the intercom before it's like, Jimmy, there's some nice people here to see you. No, I don't know why they're here. They seem nice though. They got me a coffee, a frothy one, not a normal coffee. No, I don't know. Yes, right. He's coming out, and it's not long after that a door kind of like flings open, and you see Chief Jimmy coming out. Got his hand on the hips over the belt. Comes sort of swaggering up to her. He looks quite tired, like he's been up all night as well. Not dissimilar to yourselves, but he's probably not had as much coffee as you guys have had. Bit bleary-eyed, bit belligerent. Got the 5 o'clock shadow of the stubble starting to come through. Probably smells a little bit of smoke and stuff like that as well. You could tell he's probably been at the building at some point. Says, what is it? What's up?
Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, you're in the coffee shop, right?
I think I turn. So my back's to the secretary and sort of pull out my card, whatever it's called, the
badge?
FBI thing, but without actually showing him it, but like pull out my badge and just gesture towards like.
Okay, yeah, his eyes go a little bit wide, and you see some of the swagger go out of him. He goes, "Yeah, best we talk in our office." Doris, hold all the coals, right? And she's not even paying attention. But so you get into his office and he closes the door behind you. It's got the typical kind of Venetian blind kind of things that he does the thing with to make sure no one can see in. His office is quite cluttered. He's got an old wooden desk which looks of a similar sort of type as the Alderman building was made of. It's that kind of like old wood, well varnished, knotted and rustic, big heavy thing. And glancing around his office, you can see there's lots of stuff around, like there's little bits of seashells or dried starfish or other bits and pieces like that around, and like boating paraphernalia and like a scale model of a yacht and things like that, all that kind of stuff. Loads of stuff all over his desk, which looks a mess. And he kind of sits back in his big swing chair and sticks up his cowboy boots on the edge of his desk and goes, well, what can I do for you then?
I probably won't even sit. I'll just position myself with some angle on him.
Yeah,
and,
I'm standing in front of the door, like just walk in, shut the door behind me and block it. And yeah, we stand up, I think, and just be all business with him.
Yeah. Well, he's doing his best to look completely nonchalant and just like rocking back.
So we hear there was an incident and there were victims and there were people disappearing. Do you want to tell me more?
Don't know what on earth you're talking about. There was just a minor fire. Someone knocked over a candle or something.
Oh,
got a little bit.
Definitely not an arson. What
No,
about the
no.
bodies in the van?
What bodies? What van? What are you talking about? There's no bodies. No van. I don't even what do you mean? It was just some kids messing about. They shouldn't have been there in the hole at night anyway. Probably broke in, doing a Ouija board or something, knocked a candle over. Thankfully, one of the aldermen saw it, I guess, and it got sorted out really quickly. So it's just that it's a shame that wonderful old building's damaged now. Like, I don't know what we're going to do in future. That's where we had all the meetings, the special meetings and everything. And now, I mean, sickening the cost, the stupidity of the younger generation.
Mm-hmm. Handler dear, do I have an idea how many bodies were in the van? Probably 2.
You don't know because it's got the smoked out glass. You could tell there's something in there. It wasn't completely empty, but it was hard, and you failed all your rolls, so that
Okay.
you don't get any more information.
I said, oh well, if it's all just a misunderstanding, then we don't need to get involved, then, do we?
No, that's right. Thanks for coming. I don't know why you're in the area, but it's
just
well,
holiday.
Yeah.
Just holiday.
just holiday.
That mentioned, it would be very sad if indeed a couple of other FBI agents went missing in your lovely little town and by any chance found burned in the house which you're trying to hide.
Do you want to make a human roll for me, please?
It is a success. I broke the curse.
Finally.
I mean, you were pretty sure he was hiding something anyway, but with a success, you know that he's that hits the mark when you mention that there were other agents here and there were victims and someone burned and stuff like that. You can just see it in his eyes. Although he keeps quite stony faced, like his pupils dilate a little bit, you can see the bead of sweat starting to go in his hairline, which he disguises by rearranging his hat and stuff like that. But you just know the telltale signs. So you think you, like, if not got it nail on the head, you've got it very close to what's happened. And he says, no, we occasionally get people visiting, but like, no, FBI agents, there's nothing happens here. Sleepy little town, we just fish. And by now he's pulled his boots down, he's like sat more straight in his chair. And you notice he's rearranged his belt a couple of times. The flap on the holster of his gun, the safety kind of catch thing, the bit of leather's been pulled off, popped off, so he's got a bit more freer access to it. He's going, no, it's I mean, I suggest you enjoy the town and have a nice sleep, and then yeah, if there's anything in the morning to report, I'll get a full fire report. I'll get, I'll take this. I've just had a very long night, and he starts trying to make excuses.
Obviously, and since I'm still standing like I was standing like that in a corner, probably leaning on some cabinet or whatever. So I'm also doing this move, sort of showing the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Not showing the second gun. And say like, yeah, of course, obviously, we would love to confirm that this is just a misunderstanding, and definitely 2 undercover FBI agents did not go missing while chasing the drug dealers in the area.
And it's like he almost relaxes a little bit and goes, "Oh, drug dealers, yeah. Yeah, you know."
You wouldn't know about that, would you?
I did hear that down the way. Yeah, if you go to White Harbour, the next town along, yeah, they've got a real problem. It's quite ironic, really, because you know all the white powder they call White Harbour. I mean, he'd have thought maybe they used that as a cover. Is that a double bluff? I don't know. Yeah, that's probably where they went. Your other agents, they'll be in White Harbour. I mean, that's like nobody takes drugs around here. We take it very seriously. We've got zero tolerance policy. But yeah, it's White Harbour.
Probably took Suzanne Holt, that biologist, with them too, didn't they? We were having to catch up with her too.
Biologist. Oh yeah. I don't know what happened. Yeah, she was doing some research or something. Probably she finished up her research and went home, I guess. I can't see her getting tied up. But maybe she was something to do with the drugs as well. Maybe she was helping facilitate the drugs coming in. Well, you know, she's not here anymore anyway. So
yeah, leave the investigating to us, Sheriff.
Yeah, I think maybe. Oh yeah, maybe she had an accident. I don't know. Maybe. It's rough out there. People who don't know these seas, there's a lot of reefs. The currents are very strong. The swells, the weather changes like that on a dime. Maybe, yeah, we haven't seen her around now. You mention it. Yeah, maybe something happened.
She was staying in a hotel, didn't she?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, she'd be up at the Ledbetter place. Yeah.
Well, but if she had an accident, probably the hotel owner would file a report, her not coming back to check her belongings, to pay for her room.
I mean, maybe, yeah, but he starts like lifting all these papers and stuff on his desk going, yeah, maybe. I mean, perhaps Doris has left me a message already. I've just not seen it because I've been up all night with the fire and everything. And there's been people to deal with, and you know, I've got my own reports to write. So, yeah, I mean, we'll get to it. If something has happened, like, you can rest assured that I'll be on top of it. But like, just right now, I've just got so much to do. You see, and he starts getting up and like sort of like pointing towards the door, as if to sort of guide you out.
So yeah, make sure you let us know if you do find anything out about her. That'd be really handy. No need to make a fuss about this. Anything, is there?
No, we'll keep it quiet. We'll just keep it between us. Yeah, it's fine. I'll ask around. I'll ask some questions. You can rely on me.
Be careful though. There might be undercover agents from this narco cartel.
Right.
We don't want them to find out about us in our investigation.
Oh yeah, no, I won't. I definitely won't tell anyone else. This is between you and me.
Very believable. Okay, so we leave.
Yeah, we'll let him go.
Okay, and are you heading back to your hotel, or was there someone else to go?
Probably some neutral territory, if there is any in this town.
Somewhere at the top of the cliff, like secluded. No one can hear us talk about. Yeah.
How about having a picnic, darling?
Yes. That's away from anyone from this town
with
at all.
A nice view.
Okay, so you get that there are lots of like boutique shops like that where you sell like sort of wanky things you can buy for campaigns, the overpriced chutneys and stuff. So you can get a bunch of that, and you head up to the campground or the picnic site, and it's as you've driven up and you parked up and you're just getting stuff out, you notice that feeling of being watched has kind of intensified. And as you're going over and heading to one of the settled benches that's there, you do notice there's a couple of other people around that were off by the kind of it's not a visitor centre, but like where the toilets and the stuff are, like a little block that people use for hanging coats and other stuff. That there's some people near there. There's a van, and one of them's got a big like camera on his shoulder. He's pointing it directly at you, and in front of him there's a woman with a microphone, and she's kind of looking over her shoulder at you and then talking directly into the camera. And it's at that point we're going to take a little break. So don't worry, viewers at home, this will be a few seconds through the magic of editing and powerful sorcery such as that, but we shall see you in a few minutes for the thrilling second half of Suspicious Minds. Welcome back, everyone, to Delta Green Suspicious Minds. In the first part of our scenario, you may recall that the agents were called in to a town because some other agents, another group who was a night at the opera, had suddenly come under attack or had some emergency, whatever it was, and they drove through the night to get there. They've examined the hotel where their fellow agents stopped and found signs of struggle. They've been into town and seen that it seems blossoming and blooming, but there's some kind of altercation at the Alderman's Hall, a fire, and they think some bodies taken away, although that's been silenced and no one's talked about it. Having confronted the police chief and decided that he must be in on it in some way, they've headed up to the picnic area up on the hills, thinking no one can overhear them and they should be safe. But as they've got out of their car, there's in fact a film crew pointing a camera directly at them with their news anchor and everything, or something, that sort of role. And we're going to head back to our agents now. What do? You found yourself in what you thought would be a quiet spot, but actually there's a trio of people looking in your direction, and it seems one of them's commenting on you while another films, and the producer, for want of a better word, seems to be nodding and chipping in every now and again with little details.
I'm walking up to them, whatever Cornwell's doing. I'm like charging up to them.
Okay, I was about to say that we're getting ourselves as far away from them as possible, but apparently I wasn't quick enough.
Have you met Paskey?
Yeah, I'm out of Nicorette gum.
I'm here to chew gum and turn names. Okay.
I'm in a burnout building. I'm not. Yeah.
You storm over, and as you get close, you can hear that Andrea Smiley, before she even says her name. This is Andrea Smiley for No One X. You can see the government conspiracy. This is where it starts. I told you they'd be here, and first thing in the morning, we've got the government cover-up squad. Here they are to take us out. We're live streaming this, so just beware, you're on camera. And she kind of looks at you directly, Paskey, and says, "What have you got to say for yourself, G-Man?"
Who's a G-Man here? What are you doing? Filming us? Out for a picnic?
Out for a picnic. Look at the way you're dressed. I know you people. You can see it, the way you walk. Is that a gun in your pocket? And don't say you're just pleased to see me. We've heard all the wisecracks before. We've been watching you. You've been sniffing around. What do you know about the merman?
Nothing. It's
the what man?
First thing we've heard of the merman.
Come on, you can tell us. We're on the trail of this. We know what's happened. We saw the fire. There's been deaths, the hidden bodies, the people hidden away. Is this some kind of government super soldier program where the serum's gone wrong? You're giving it to your Navy SEALs and now they've mutated? What is it? You can tell us. It's just between us and our viewers. And she smiles sweetly as the cameraman does his zoom in thing on your faces to get your reactions.
I mean, you can keep telling us, but it's news to us. Sounds like you're the experts here about whatever's happening here.
For No One X is going to be the first to find out what's going on. She keeps leaning back to the camera to kind of talk to her viewership.
But I mean, I'm sorry. We just arrived today, and they said that there was no victims. Are you saying someone died in there? I mean, I saw Sheriff today, and he said everything was fine.
We had the inside scoop from someone. I'm not going to give away my sources, but she told us something was happening here, and we got down here in time to see the fires. We heard the screams and the shouting. No one heard. We know this is all part of some government conspiracy cover-up for your merman super soldier program.
Oh no. Oh. I told you this is not a good spot to go for vacation.
It's not. Full of, I mean, I know we're out in the sticks, but I didn't expect cranks like this to be around. Get away from all this sort of National Enquirer nonsense.
I'm not convinced at home. Viewers.
A bit far-fetched, isn't it?
So what is it then? What is going on?
So, you say we better not swim in here, huh?
I wouldn't.
I just bought 2 new swimming suits. We were supposed to go to the nice little beach village, and what now?
Well, maybe it's aliens. Is that what it is? Is it the Greys? I know the government have had the aliens in their pocket for some time now. Is that what this is? Are they experimenting on us?
Well,
are we going to get taken away?
I mean, maybe we shouldn't eat the fish. I did say that before, didn't I? I think we're trying to just blag it as being clueless about this, which isn't entirely false.
It's
they
not.
do seem to know a bit more about us.
So
I do have a basket with, or a bag or something with
a big bag of fish.
No, not fish.
we got the chutneys, didn't we? We've got all the,
You've got stuff. So if one of you wants to make the persuade roll to convince them that you are actually innocent, and I'll give you plus 20 to your skill for this.
I would love to try.
I think you should.
Modifier. There you go.
Yeah.
I am very convincing.
And in the end, she just like the cut signal to the cameraman, and the producer's like throwing his clipboard up in the air. Go, well, that's a waste of time.
I would not let them go. It's like, oh, so I'm sorry, we were not very useful, but you have to tell us because we came for vacation, and now do we stay? Do we leave? Maybe if we just don't eat fish, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I talked to the fishermen at the market, and they say that they're doing remarkably well compared to other villages.
Well, they will be. That'll be the government payout money they get for keeping quiet about the Navy SEAL injection program they've got running down at the fish hole.
Well, they do have a lot of fish on the market.
Yeah, that's still coming in from government money. You can rely on that. I wouldn't stay. Look, you're here for a vacation. I'd get out of here while you can. There's another couple came down here for a vacation yesterday. Where are they now? That's what I want to know. That's what everybody wants to know, but nobody knows, do they?
Oh, I heard they moved back down to White Harbour.
Moved to White Harbour? Really? Is that why old Jenkins towed the car away from the hotel and's got it in his scrapyard now? What did he walk to White Harbour? I don't think so.
Oh no, maybe we should not stay in that hotel any longer. And you said you saw the fire yourself?
Yeah, all the older men were going for a meeting, they said. What kind of local government council meets at midnight in a old building on the edge of the coast on this weird island? That wasn't council business. There's some kind of secret cabal.
Well, you know, darling, I thought you were a bit exaggerating, but now with everything you say, I'm worried. I'm worried.
You should be. You should get out of here. But if you do hear anything, and then she pulls out some business cards, and she's got like Andrew Smiley, Phenomenex, news anchor, and like numbers on and stuff like that.
Is there somewhere we can see your videos?
Oh yeah, I may flip the card over, and there's like YouTube, Insta, Twitch, like just an array of different places. The truth is out there, she says, looking at you.
Oh.
But don't worry, stay tuned to our live feed because we're going to find out what's going on here. There's something.
Yeah, we'll probably better observe from a safe distance.
Yeah, you're right. I won't want to see anyone else get hurt.
Yeah, be careful. This is a dangerous thing you're doing.
Yeah, best we leave it to professionals like you, Andrea, to look into it.
The old nod, like quite sagely. Oh, yeah, very, very sensible. We've done this a lot. You won't believe the things we've seen.
Well,
I'm not stopping them further.
Yeah, let's go picnic.
Okay.
Satisfied we've persuaded them we're possibly not government agents.
Yeah, and they're going to...
Or if we are, we have no idea what's going
on. Yeah.
We're definitely not
Delta ever.
We're definitely not Delta Green.
What? Someone died here?
What?
Let's go have picnic.
So they got to have their meeting, but they get the van and pull the side door open. It's full of like all kind of recording equipment and stuff like that, and then they sit around there far away from you to discuss what they're going to do next and make plans. Then you could have your nice picnic, which I don't think we're not playing Regis Cathedral. We don't need to go through the menu, but well, I'm sure we can skip forward to whatever it is you do after that. If there's
I was looking for the handout, Gaz, but there doesn't seem to be one in. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so I think let's just.
Okay, let's.
I hate to admit it. There's no smoke in that fire, are there? Those Phenomenex guys clearly have got there before us, and they seem pretty clear that our agents have disappeared.
I mean, they're dead, along with the friendly. There was a van with the bodies. They disappeared yesterday evening. Convenient. There was a meeting of the elderly at the midnight in the old house. Afterwards, the house burned. All of the locals are behaving weirdly, and conveniently, the people who were sniffing around disappeared.
And I don't
The sheriff
think...
is denying that there were bodies.
Yeah, I don't think the sheriff was too pleased. I don't think we have got long. I thought he was trying to intimidate us. We could have...
I don't think he was
in with him.
intimidating us. He was trying to convince us to. I'm not sure he believed our drug story, but yeah, whatever. The mayor is clearly on it. And okay, they confirmed our theory that something is in the sea, helping them with their fishing efforts.
So the people who might be able to talk some sense to us, that we've met so far, and there aren't many of them, I would say, are that girl who was taken off by the chief. And there was some doubts, wasn't there? That Kevin Chen guy seemed to be a bit doubtful about what was going on. But maybe the girl's a good
starting point.
A good starting point. She seemed to be... and the sheriff didn't seem to want... The chief didn't want her to talk to us.
Yeah, but while we were in the police station, did we by any chance notice, in case it is a small police station, sometimes you could see the cages, if she wasn't there or not?
You didn't notice any sign of her, no.
No signs of a girl or of the cages?
Both. But yeah, from what has happened, it didn't seem like he was arrested. It seemed like they knew each other, and he was taken home.
It seemed like she's been taken home.
Well, we don't know her name, we don't know her address, and I mean the best we could do to go back to the cafe and ask the bartender. Clearly, she's there often. But then we could raise suspicions. I mean, it's your call. What do you want to do? We don't know the Chan address either, so...
Kamarov would know what to do. Well, where else have we got that we know? Coroners? See what's in that. See what those bodies are. We've got some bodies in an investigation that we don't know what they are or who they are. So we should probably try.
Either they're not at the coroner office, or they would lie us and won't show it. We can try and break into coroner office, but probably
that's an excellent idea. That's an excellent idea. Yes,
I think so too. Meanwhile, shall we look for the girl?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna smash forward.
Yeah,
conscious of time. That's fine. It's a small town. Once you start asking around the bartenders or whatever, like Michelle's known as a bit of a lush. It seems the Taylor house is pointing out to you, and you find out that Neil Taylor is her dad, who she lives with. And to save a bit of messing around and making rolls unnecessarily, you find out that he's one of the ex-aldermen. He used to be one of the councilmen, but kind of was seen as unfit for his position and got removed at some stage. And it's quite easy to find the address. There aren't that many houses, and you're pointed there. So if you want to go there, you can do that. You work out where the coroner's office is, if you want to go there. And equally, all the aldermen, just through like public accounts and records, have got their addresses listed. So if you wanted to go to any of their homes, you can get it just through public records, because when they're elected they have to put their address on there. So that's something you can pull up anyway.
Now normally I'd suggest in this kind of situation that we split up, but possibly as we're just partners, maybe we should stick together for now. There's only two of us left, I say suddenly, as we discuss this, and then catch myself a bit. No.
Maybe splitting up is not such a bad idea. I think we had sort of connection with Michelle. I would try to take my chances on talking to her again. And meanwhile, you can either talk to someone else or probably not break into pathologist office without me.
Why don't we go to the... why don't I talk to the dad while you talk to the girl?
Okay,
See if we can get them, if they've got anything separate. Or not. Okay. That's probably it. Because he sounds like he might have some info.
Okay, so you've had a nice picnic, and it's a little way down again, so it's probably getting sort of like mid to late afternoon now. And you're starting to flag because you've just had an insulin spike and you've been up for 36 hours now or something like that. But you head to the coffee shop on the way past to get another coffee and try and stay awake for the rest of it, even though you're getting a bit blurry. The Taylor household is a typical wood structure, much like a lot of the other buildings here. Unless it's kept on top of, the paint starts to flake because of the briny air and that's what this looks like. The garden's untended, but it's not completely falling down or anything. It just looks like it could do a bit of like tender loving care of the building. Heading up, you can hammer on the door or ring the bell or wait for someone to come, and eventually, after like just about the point where you're thinking, is everything alright, should we kick the door in or something or whatever, like someone does open the door, and it's Michelle Taylor again. She looks dishevelled. She's kind of just in like little shorts and a vest top with a shirt like hastily thrown over, and the hair's all a mess, clearly been, you know, zonked out of sleep, and you've woken her up. But she kind of looks at you bleary eyed and goes, oh, it's you.
I probably, before going there, bought a bottle, I don't know, some beer or wine or something. I would take my fancy jacket off to look more relaxed, and as soon as I see her, I would play again like, oh, hey, I was hoping I could meet you here.
Oh, it's a bit early, but yeah.
You seemed very friendly. This town is really weird, and, you know, I just happen to have some alcohol, but no really good company.
Oh, Hera the dog, and she snatches the bottle out of your hand and starts padding back inside the house again. And says, yeah, come through to the kitchen, I've got some glasses here somewhere. And you can see the dirty dishes piled up, and like there's just a bit of a mess, but she finds a couple and starts cleaning them off to get you a drink, and starts chatting to you. Paskey, you're heading in and just finding in the main sitting room in front of a TV, there's an older looking guy there who's got like plenty of stubble, probably a few days growth. He looks like he doesn't move around a lot, basically. He's just got that saggy appearance, almost like an orangutan. Almost like he's quite hairy. He's got a massive body, but his limbs are quite thin, and he kind of looks up and sees you coming. Doesn't really say a lot, and just goes back to watching his evangelist channel that's on the TV at the minute.
So, hey, Mr. Taylor. Might have a quick chat. I'm interested in sort of local history. Specifically, what's going on with the alderman. I hear you used to be one.
Yeah, it's gone wrong now, isn't it? It's all gone wrong now.
Those stuffed shirts, I've seen them there. They need a bloke like you on them. Let's sort it all out.
That's right. And he gets up and shuffles across and picks up a picture that was like askew on the wall and pulls it over, and it's got you imagine it's the Alderman's Hall when it was in its heyday, or not burned, because you can recognise some of the features. And there's some kind of tapestry or flag or something behind them that's folded up so you can't quite see what's on it. And there's him and a couple of other guys, you presume. Excuse me. And they've got these like Hessian, like sailcloth kind of outfits on, like robes. And they've got bits of seashell and starfish and driftwood and things all attached to them and adorned. And they've got hoods on which, if you're in a different part of America, you would be worried about KKK or something like that. It's worryingly reminiscent, except it's not. They're not white, and they've clearly got
this is not worrying at all.
We're good.
You have to worry for a different reason, not the not the racist one.
Yeah.
And he goes, "That's me," and he could be anyone because there's this hooded figure. He's going, "See, everything was fine. You won't get any botches like I was in charge. No, I was head. No, Chen, the gormless Mother Hubbard. He couldn't do anything right. And Bateman's just, God, Bateman. What is he? Ambitious, city slicker, salesman, whatever he is. He's not got faith. He's not got true faith like we have." And he grabs your wrist and squeezes it tight.
Says, yeah. You look quite a sight in there. You still got the robes?
Yeah, sure. And it, like, you see like a bit of sprightliness seems to come back into him again, and he heads over and goes into one of the back rooms, and you hear him messing about, and then he comes through shouting, going, Michelle, what have you been doing, woman?" And in the kitchen, she's like rolling her eyes at you as you both have some wine. Says, "Guys, he's always complaining about something. He's lost it. He's gone. You know, he's just. I do my best to look after him." And you look around the scene of devastation. Like,
Oh, you're doing great. I cannot imagine how I would cope in a situation like that.
And he comes blundering into the kitchen, probably with Paskey behind him, saying, what have you done with my robes, woman? I told you not to touch them. They're for men. Only men can have them. What are you doing? And she just like shrugs and looks at him. But I think you can tell with your knowledge of people that like she probably does know what happened, but she's pretending like it's that kind of bratty daughter. It's like she's trapped at being 14 years old or something, even though she's well into her 20s. And then the nice man wants to see them. You've been playing dress up.
You can tell me about him. Come on, let's talk about the old days, Mr. Taylor.
Well, that's when we had a proper sacrifice. That's when people went willingly. They wanted to. They were pleased to. They were happy. We were all happy then. What a great honour it was. He slumps back in his chair. Nowadays, it's just snatching people. And there's all the screaming and the shouting. It's not like it was. Where's the tradition? Where's the old values? That's what I want to know.
Oh yeah, I know. Snatching people, you say? Like last night?
Oh, you should have heard her kicking and screaming all the way across the bridge. What a palaver. Where's the decorum? Where's the dignity? And then there's the fire that doesn't even go right. They'll have to try again tonight, but I don't know what they're going to do. They should put me back in charge. Do you reckon they'd take me? Where's my robes, woman? He starts shouting through to try and...
I'm just going to now try and keep him talking, in the hope that my partner can get some...
bit more sense out of the
well, more sense. I've got a lot of useful information from him. I know it's maybe not talking sense, but as Paskey's eyes are getting wider and wider as he plays along, with like, oh yeah, probably that, yeah, sacrifice, yeah, fine, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah, what an honour.
And Cornwell, you noticed that you don't know she's always like this, but Michelle seems to be constantly filling up your glass. It's almost like she's trying to get you drunk or something.
Well, that's what I was about to do with her.
It's a dangerous game, this investigating.
I would imagine that I might have some, if not training, then experience in pretending that I drink more than I actually do.
Okay.
We're playing Warhammer again.
I'm saying Brandy Bells. I'm going to go a bit left field with this one then. I'm going to suggest that you make a pharmacy roll to see if you can like measure your dosage and disguise it enough while also trying to get her to drink a bit more.
Just give me a minute. I'll figure out if I even have pharmacy.
You should have. That's what my little notebook says you have.
No.
Nice.
I've got pharmacy.
I thought you both did.
No, I have 0. Then I can roll, I don't know, for Constitution.
Constitution, it's going to be
super
then.
Drunk.
Yeah. Oh, it's Kamarov that have pharmacy. Yeah, that's my bad.
Oh, that's awful. Put him in.
Bring up the dead partner.
Well, I did have a rough night, and I've been running mostly on coffee for the last 36 hours. And I thought that just a glass of wine would be fine, nothing special, but it actually got to my head.
Yeah, you're getting a bit drunk. She seems to be drinking as well, but like clearly seems like she's much more used to it than you are. You think like you're good at drinking, but she's really good at drinking. Oh, to the point of having a problem with drinking, good at drinking.
Well, anyhow, I'll try to engage into like chit chat, saying that I'm interested to learn more about what is going on. You seem to be really excited, and you wanted to tell me about that house.
Yeah, we've got someone for you to meet. Like, let's do shots. And she goes and gets some like little tumblers that she puts hard liquor in, and turns around, then turns back to you with them, going, "Here's yours, quick, get it down you." And yeah, I've got this great guy for you to meet. You're going to meet someone tonight. It's going to change your life. Come on, drink up.
Oh, is there a party?
Yeah. It's a party. You're going to be the guest of honor.
It's the same party I just found out. Yeah.
Cool. Where is it? I should properly dress for it.
Yeah. if you want. Yeah. No, you should wear something cute. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably find you something to wear anyway if you haven't got anything.
Well, I mean, you would find. Of course, I brought all sort of stuff, but I mean, working as a realtor, always wearing these suits and everything, and I wanted to come to this to change something. And we're told there are nice tourist attractions, but now they're all burned down.
Oh, that's a shame. What we're going to do? We're going to have a party at the campsite tonight. We're going to mix it up. I'm going to take you up there. Yeah, just can you make an alertness roll for me?
A which roll?
Alertness.
Ah. No.
Oh, okay. I'll let you make a Constitution roll on the back of it.
I'm way better in Constitution.
Famous last words.
It is a success.
It's a marginal success. Okay.
Barely.
So you're a doctor and you know what it's like to be drugged, and you're definitely feeling drugged now. The room's starting to blur and spin. Your vision's starting to narrow and get dark around the outsides. You try and put a glass down and you miss the side of the cabinet about 3 times trying to get your hand-eye coordination's going. Is there anything you wish to do?
Of course. I want to intentionally drop the glass. Maybe after the first attempt, I failed to put it on a table. And I was like, oh, I don't feel so well.
That's all right. Come to our room and lie down. God, it's lovely and warm in here. And she's putting her arm around you and sort of guiding you. And you find it hard to resist, although you're trying to, I presume.
Well, I'm not really resistant, but I would call out for Paskey.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do I hear the thing?
Oh, yeah, you hear all of this.
And I think that might be a little break point. Sorry, I've not made any sound checks. I'm just role-playing Paskey like this. I think that's the point where Paskey's, after all this kind of, sacrifice, whatever, finally goes, kind of rushes into the kitchen, almost going for his gun, ready to tackle someone. Says, what is it? What is it? Where are they?
Oh, she just needs to lie down. She's drunk a little bit too much. She'll be alright. I'll look after her.
Oh, I mean, he'll look after me. I sometimes drink too much. Will you take me back to hotel, darling?
I'll say, yeah, certainly. The campsite tonight, is that where we're meeting? I'll look at the two of them.
Better, but that time.
Well, I'll come and get you. Me and Jimmy will come and we'll come and get you from the hotel and we'll drive you up there.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Yeah, if we get Jimmy to drive, then we can both drink and we don't need to worry about it. He'll be the designated driver.
Dedicated driver.
Yeah.
Well, I can't drive today anyway.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, amazing. Yay.
I'm trying probably to...
And she doesn't stop you going or anything. She, from her point of view, she seems quite happy that she's coming to get you later and you're going to the campsite, so that's all fine.
Yay!
And Neil Taylor's still chuntering away to himself in front of the TV, and as you walk back through again, he's got a photo of him out. He's trying to show you more photos, which look pretty much the same on every photo. But and this was 63, and high tide that. I presume you get your way out of there and out of that situation.
As soon as we're out of this house, I was dragged.
Don't worry, just take it. I'm looking at.
And I'm probably breathing tequila.
Classic character sheet.
I was dragged, definitely.
Classic character sheet. Look, I noticed you've given me a stash of amphetamines. So Paskey is normally used to dosing himself with these, I think. So he's just going to, just take a couple of these, trying to get the right dose. Because that's how amphetamines work, isn't it? I think.
That's right.
We'll get more.
We all know that, yeah.
More comments from the same people who criticised our knowledge of American...
Well, do you want to make your pharmacy roll for us to see if you managed to get that right, or whether you're a bit off?
Yeah.
We did not work together for very long, Paskey, but Komarov, he always had this magic pills, which like antidote and energy booster that would help a lot.
Yeah, these are the same ones.
Oh, good.
No, they're not.
Okay. You're definitely awake. You can feel your heart beating in your chest. You're alive, but you're in that horrible state where you're both hungover and drunk and can't sleep at the same time. So this is going to mean I'm going to have to impose some penalties later on you because you're obviously in a compromised state. But you're not about to fall asleep, which was a danger a minute ago.
Yeah, because I was doing so well with the rolls tonight that you need to put some negative effects on me, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so you probably spent a good sort of like couple of hours with all this, finding them and chatting to them and messing about. So we're getting to early evening. So it is early summer, so it stays like quite late. So you've probably still got a few hours before it's dark, but time sort of ticking. Where do you wish to head next, or what are you going to do?
Well, so we know there's a sacrifice tonight.
Yeah, and we are
and it's
guests of honor.
Yeah, well, you're the guest of honor. I think I'm just a guest.
Well, since they burned 3 people yesterday night, I wouldn't consider myself being there solo.
Well, let's see if...
I can go with them, since they invited me and they said I'm a guest of honor, and I can tell that you got, I don't know, food poisoning from fish or something, and then you can follow us without them knowing, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or you can go there beforehand, maybe, I don't know.
So maybe looking at trying to work out what happened last night. What Paskey's thinking is maybe to try and maybe our previous agents, maybe D-Cell tried to sabotage it, burn the place down, but failed and ended up being the sacrifices. So I'm wondering if maybe we can do the same kind of thing.
With a camp?
Well, maybe assemble some ingredients to blow the place up or something. See if we can get some...
The campsite.
Oh, is it the campsite? Yeah.
Well, the house is burned already.
Yeah, they weren't doing it at the house, were they?
Well, I guess it was the other way around. They were dragged out of the hotel. They found something that the locals did not want them to find, this mermaids shit. And the locals tried to sacrifice them. They did not cooperate in this procedure. And while they were trying to escape, probably the fire emerged. So the ritual did not take place. There was no sacrifice. The house was burned, and there were 3 dead bodies. And they need to continue tonight, with us, in their place.
And we need to stop them.
Then burning stuff seems like a great idea.
So we need to maybe expose them. Pull out the card from... We've got a film crew on hand, haven't we? Do we get them to come down?
We surely can, but then what will the handler say?
I'm not sure if this is full Delta Green, like ops guidance.
The first... One of the top 3 priorities of Delta Green is to keep secrecy. I mean, this priority is higher than saving lives.
If they think it's aliens there, they were going for aliens, weren't they? Mermen. Another story is just as good if it stops them.
Do you think well, we can try.
Yeah. What is our thing with... Are we better to just avoid any attention at all? Or is that a known thing in Delta Green? You can expose people and then get them to stop what they're doing. I don't know. What?
I'm happy to roll with whatever for the sake of... I won't worry about canon. I mean, generally you try and keep this stuff secret, but if you imagine like X-Files, quite often they try to keep that quiet, but at certain points they kind of like, we have to expose this conspiracy or whatever it is, so you can go either way on it depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, and their reporting didn't seem very credible, did it? It seemed like, if it's Navy SEAL super soldier experiments instead of... They were a long way away from sinister cult sacrificing people.
Do you still have these pills on you?
Yeah, I've got some downers as well. If you may take a couple of these, they might calm you down. You seem a bit jittery.
No, not for me. Maybe if we or you get there beforehand and we manage to somehow poison their water supply. Usually at the ceremonies like this, there are some festivities and wine. And she did tell me that there is a party, so I believe there might be something similar. If we can drug most of them.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Maybe we get the film crew there just in case as well?
Yeah, sure. We could just tell them the wrong time. Like an hour later than it actually starts. Then if we fail, these guys arrive. I'll send a message to this.
Andrea. Andrea was her name. So
Andrea, saying that we were invited to a weird party tonight at the campsite, and something seemed off. So I was worried and decided to inform her.
Yeah, you get a message back straight away going, we'll be there. Don't worry, we're on it.
I would type like the wrong time, like 1 hour later. If we fail, they can continue.
I mean, you've given the wrong time when they're going to turn up, or if they're there already or whether you don't. I mean,
true.
They're a bit of a wild card, so,
okay, so
you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So I'm going down there earlier to try and scope it out and see if I can drug something or whatever. If there's a big like chalice that looks like it's important that people drink, that's what I'll drug. It looks like important people drink from. To scope out the area.
So we'll say there's probably a couple of hours prep you do before that, and trying to like get the balance between uppers downers right with Agent Cornwell to go. Shit, I've gone too far the other way now. I need to have some more of these. You probably observe activity in the town anyways. It starts to wind down. There's not much activity apart from a couple of restaurants and stuff after the normal day. Most of the locals seem to be either fishermen or related businesses, so they're in bed early generally. But you notice a couple of things. So down by the fish market, which you would expect now to just be dark and done for the day, there's lights, and like not even like the big lights, like candles and tea lights and maybe even like oil lamps and stuff like that. So there's something there, and the campsite seems dark, but nevertheless you will eventually see Jimmy's pickup coming up towards the hotel to get you. So that's happening at the same time. It's up to you, Guy, whether you think Paskey would still be at the hotel or whether he's already left to get up there early.
I think I've probably already left.
Okay.
Anyway, I think this is the time we split up when it's clearly dangerous.
But it's the worst possible time to do that.
Yeah.
And Agent Cornwell, you get a candle from Judy, the hotel owner. She comes and like gives you this, and it's in like a really fancy wrapped thing with a bow around and killed ribbon and stuff, unnecessarily, this scented candle. And she presses it into your hands and says, yeah, this will be good. Put this in your room tonight and light the candle. And make sure...
Oh, thank you.
It's quite warm in there, so make sure you leave the windows open and stuff so it doesn't get too stuffy. And light this candle and it'll help you sleep. And it's really... I don't know whether you're into aromatherapy and stuff, but it's super relaxing. And make sure you light this before you go to sleep.
I will. I won't. Definitely putting this candle as far away as possible and closing window before leaving the room.
And then there's an element of like, are you going out tonight? As there's an array of fish that's being cooked for that would feed 20 people in the kitchen.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll give it a try later, or maybe in the morning. We met lovely people and got invited to a little gathering, like a party thing. So
she looks a little bit disappointed, but she says, "Oh, don't worry, someone will eat it." She says, quite sure. And so Jimmy's truck's going to pull up at this point. We're going to say it's got dark, or it's certainly like the sun's down. It's that pre-dark kind of light, so it's getting that way out. The lit up seafront near the fish market looks quite pretty, actually. It's a nice little place. You wonder what's going on down there. And Michelle comes out and collects you and shoves you in the pickup. And presuming you're still making like you're going to this party, they're going to drive you up towards the park site.
Yeah, I also make a scene saying that we had a fight with my husband because he was bossing me around, saying that I should not go to the party because this man, remembering her father reacting towards her, I probably pulled this string, but I decided that I will go to the party and he can get the hell out.
You do all of that. So you're happily driving up. We cut scenes slightly to a bit before that. Paskey, you're up at the site and there's nothing there apart from you realise tucked away behind the utilities building. There's the van of Frenno and X, and their crew are there, hunkered down. But there's nothing set up. It doesn't look like this is a site of a big ritual. As far as you tell, like, you're aware that Jimmy's coming. You can see down the hill because you've got the vantage point that he's gone to the hotel and he's picking up Cornwell. But there's no one else here at the minute, and the crew obviously spot you at one point, and Andrea Smiley comes rushing over, like half bent over, in kind of like Warzone reporter mode, even though there's no one else there apart from you guys. She's, what are you doing? I told you to get out of here. Look, I've got a contact in the police force. He's coming up. He's got the scoop on what's happening. He's going to tell me. But if you're here, you might scare him off. What are you doing? I thought you were getting out of town.
Oh no, well, I'll keep quiet. I'll leave you to it then.
Right, but he said He said he got very important news for me.
Contacting the police force?
Yeah, like at the highest levels, she says, looking pleased with herself.
Yeah, no, I'll get that. That must be in a different department. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to go over there, but like, don't make a sound.
No.
You really should. Oh, it's too late for you now. As you see the headlights sort of like swinging into the park.
Yeah,
good. Shh. Yeah. And you both get yourselves down. Okay, the vehicle comes and parks up, and he leaves his lights on. So it's like one of the picnic tables is kind of like lit up by it in an ominous fashion, really. And you get out of the car with Michelle and Jimmy. And Michelle's like, "Oh, come on, you've got to help me. We've got to put this stuff out." And she's got like a bundle of, looks like sailcloth and canvas. So we need to make this look pretty. We need to put these things out. And you notice she's got, along with this basket she's got some very similar looking candles to the one you were given virtually before, as well as various shells and sea creatures and things like that have been fossilized. And she starts trying to like just dress the table up a little bit. Goes, "Oh, you need to put the stuff around the outside, and we need a big space in the middle."
Yep, I'll sort of help her, but I would play that I'm actually more drunk than I am.
Sure.
After this magical pills. And so I would look around more, trying to identify what is to come and possible retreat ways, or something I could use to my benefit when it comes to the worst.
Yeah, well, you kind of want a big open space. That's the point of having the big picnic area with big views.
Yeah,
but if you wanted to run away, like, there's lots of directions you could run in. So that's the good news.
No, I was more like thinking about
in terms of things to use,
some tent which I might pull on the group of people, or I don't know, an axe after somebody prepared a fireplace.
That would be lovely if there was, but it's almost as if they picked a location where there's none of that stuff that you could use. Would be helpful.
I mean, a knife might appear later. You never know. Like, I predict you might get a knife.
There's probably one of them in the basket.
I'm gonna, while this is going on, I'm gonna. Sorry, go on.
What I was going to say is you're trying to like keep an eye anyway, and Paskey, you're obviously watching what's going on. And what you notice while the ladies are decorating the table, for want of a better word, and for some reason, she wants 3 tables decorating. There's Michelle, which who knows why. But Jimmy goes to the back of his truck, which has got like the pull down gate, and it's got like the fabric over top bit that you got to keep the rain out. So he started pulled that back and pulled the gate back, and then he starts dragging. And you realise after a while, probably you get a glimpse of it, Cornwell, at Paskey, you're obviously observing, that it's well, I was going to say a body, but it's a woman. They're still moving, so it's not a dead body.
Oh no!
But you recognise Paskey, Rupert Chen, one of the alderman's wives, and she looks.
Oh, okay.
She looks not dissimilar to how your partner looked a few hours ago. She's struggling to stand up. She's mumbling, slurring her words. Can't get her words out, like she's got cotton in her mouth or something. And he's like helping her, going, "Oh, you just need a nice lie down," and ends up like just physically picking her up and walking her over to one of the benches.
Well, I'm going to try and get, I mean, I don't know, you said it was a big open space. Is there like a caravan I can get on the roof of, or just anywhere I can get a good view?
It's just that utilities building that's got some showers and toilets and stuff like that. So there's that.
Well, if I can get up on the roof of that, given that like it's a headlamp illuminated, I should be in the dark there. if you see what I mean. I'll try and get so I can scan the area and just check my gun is ready when it inevitably has to be used.
You do that. And it's at the point where, Cornwell, you're kind of like dressing the third table and looking at thinking, well, what's going on? I'm not happy about that. Jimmy's put down Rupa Chen on one of the tables and laid her out, and she's just semi-conscious. And it's then that Andrea Smiley bursts onto the scene. There's a bright light from behind the camera as Tillman, the cameraman, swings round from the side of the building. And Andrea Smiley says, Phenomenon X, caught in the act. Secret government activity on the hilltops. Some people think it's aliens, but we know it's the Merman program. And Jimmy says, oh, you made it then. So you're supposed to be my deep throat, but really you're behind all this. What's happening? You tell me. And he walks like quite confidently towards the camera and going, it's quite simple. And then that's when he hits her with a taser and she collapses to the ground. What do you wish to do?
Is there anyone near me?
So there's Michelle Taylor's with you because you've been decorating this table, but apart from that, no.
I would like to pull a gun.
You can do that, definitely.
And try to shoot Jimmy in the back.
You can do all of that. So I'd like to make a firearms roll for me.
Thank you. You do not seem very happy with my decisions.
This is a role-playing game. You can do whatever you want.
So don't worry. If you miss, that's what I'm going to do too.
You can do whatever you want.
I miss.
There you go.
It's not a fumble.
No, but you escalated to firearms first. I just want that noted for the record. Okay, Paskey, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot him.
Go for it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
It's all a bit startling. You probably there's a gun flare from down below somewhere, and you have to duck back. It's Cornwell shot goes wide, and you shoot down. I don't know. Fortunately for you guys, there's a different focus for Jimmy, and he shoots Tillman, the cameraman, who gurgles and drops his camera. And it's the weird kind of indie filmmaker shot you're going to be able to get later if anybody survives to pick up the footage. The anchor, Andrea, is just jerking on the ground, clearly debilitated. Brett Finnegan, the producer, has legged it for the van, and you can hear the sound of the van starting as he's getting himself out of there. From behind you, Cornwell, actually can make an alertness check. Let's do that.
Yeah, because I'm so good in it.
I mean,
I'm actually not bad. But not today.
You say that. Okay, let me get my dice together. I feel it's dice o'clock.
You know, Komarov had better pills.
Yeah, if he was there.
If only camera was here. Okay. You get the smell of tequila and other such things very close to you, and that's when you feel a searing pain in your back as a knife enters into your right kidney, and you can feel Michelle's hand reach around for your throat as she drives it in to your back. Says it's time. Shh, relax. What do you wish to do?
Can I fight back?
You can, yeah, it's your action.
Do I lose any hit points for this knife
5
in my kidney? I'm not feeling well.
No, a knife in the kidney will do that.
Yeah. I will try to fight back with the pistol butt.
Go for it.
No.
Okay.
It's slightly better than the previous roll by 1%.
It is.
Still failed.
I'm not even giving you penalties yet for being impaired either. I'm relying on your own incompetence. Okay.
Thank you.
But Paskey, you see this happening. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna run in, shooting at Michelle.
Okay, don't fumble.
Yeah,
because then you'd hit your partner. That'd be terrible. Okay. It turns out that getting off the roof of the thing and then getting over there is actually harder than it looks. Okay, you hear the sound of the van start to tear off, and there's a wheel spin on the grass for a little bit, and then the Phenomenon X producer just gets the hell out of there, like the honourable gentleman that he is. Brett Finnegan, the producer, has legged it for the van, and you can hear the sound of the van start to tear off, and there's a wheel spin on the grass for a little bit, and then the Phenomenon X producer just gets the hell out of there, like the honourable gentleman that he is. Brett Finnegan, the producer, has legged it for the van, and you can hear the sound of the van start to tear off, and there's a wheel spin on the grass for a little bit, and then the Phenomenon X producer just gets the hell out of there, like the honourable gentleman that he is. Tillman on the ground, his legs kind of like jerking crazily for a little bit, and then the gurgling stops and he lies still. Smiley's out of it, and then Jimmy looks around at the pair of you. He kind of like sees that Michelle's tackling Cornwell, and then tries to shoot Paskey. Fortunately, the shot goes wide this time. Probably your ungraceful exit from the roof meant that you couldn't quite get a bead. But yeah, he fires his service weapon at you, but misses. And says, look, man, we just need the girl. It doesn't have to be you. You can walk away from this.
No, I can't. Not again. Not another one.
So Cornwell. Bad news.
Oh no. 3
damage. As you feel the knife slide into your ribs as she tries to push it into your lungs.
From the kidney? Wow, that's a
Well,
big
she's
knife.
pulling it out and putting it back in again.
Okay, this leaves me with 1 hit point, so I probably cannot even properly stand by myself. So I'm leaning heavily towards her.
And I'll give you the option to act and do something.
I will... Minute? Yeah, I'll just try to fight her without a pistol butt in my hand, because my unarmed combat is slightly better, so maybe trying to somehow damage her.
Yeah, you probably dropped the pistol in all the...
Yeah, most likely.
The panic.
Oh, it is a success. 1d4 minus 1. 1d4 minus 1, and I rolled a 1.
So, yeah, I mean, you hit her as hard as you can. It just turns out that that's not very hard.
Not enough.
It's a bit,
I did my best.
Bit of a Mr. Burns moment. He's kind of like slapping ineffectually.
Did I notice, was there, I don't know, something looking like an altar, or I don't know, a pentagram on the ground, or something? From my experience with Delta, can I guess that they need to make a sacrifice in some special manner?
So it looks to you like they've decorated these 3 picnic tables with the stuff you were putting out, with the cloths and the positioning of various things and the candles, in a manner that looks ritualistic in your kind of like lucid moment as you're scanning around looking at everything. They're all laid out the same, and it looks like they, at some point you're going to end up led at one of those tables amongst all the other accoutrements.
Okay. Well, I spent my move, but I know what I'm gonna do next. If I survive.
If you survive, okay. Paskey, what's up?
I'm still going to try and shoot Michelle. I'm fumbling to get out the burner phone as well at this point. So. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see. That's more like
wow.
Okay, so as Michelle's like, you're virtually unconscious, Cornwell. So at this point, she's hoisting you onto one of the tables and sort of pushing there as you're weakly sort of fighting back and not really getting ready for her. Feeling the blood draining from everything's going black. You feel your breath laboured, and that's when her head explodes like a watermelon as a shot comes from a 357, and there's a scream that comes out from Jimmy's mouth. He was just like horrified by what you've just done, and says, "No, Michelle, why?" He says.
I tray the gun on him. I think I'd tackle sort of Cornwell. I'm like, you can just walk away. You can just walk away. Say back to him, pointing the gun at him.
And he kind of just collapses to his knees with his gun held limply in his hand between his legs, and tears are streaming down his face and going, "Oh no!" And he doesn't seem to offer up any other resistance, and gives you the opportunity to start to move away. It's then as you back towards your vehicle, probably, or his vehicle, you could take. The keys are still in it, the lights are still on. You notice down in the village or in the town by the fish market, you get that faint sounds where you can hear something's going on, but you're too far away to hear what's going on. But is it music? Is it something else? And you see, I mean, if you were a Phenomenon X news anchor, you would say some kind of merman or something, or alien coming out of the water into the fish market. 3 of them, the figures appear, and go back with 3 bodies as you get into the car and get out of Dodge.
Yeah, I'm going to try and take Rupert with us, I think. And the camera.
Yeah. Well,
maybe take the girl instead.
I think the girl's dead, isn't she? I think that's.
And now she was tased.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't think there's roles necessary. Jimmy's inconsolable. He doesn't know what he's going to do. Father's going to kill me for this, is the last words he whispers you hear as you get. And then you notice for the first time that his name badge says Hayden on it. He's probably the mayor's son or something. As you load up your car with the would-be victims and head away for not an entirely successful mission, but at least this time you both escape with your lives. And that's where we'll end the session. So thank you very much for watching at home. You got to see half of the mystery. Maybe we'll return at some point and work out what's going to happen next. Or maybe it'll be an entirely different mission next time we come and see these agents. But thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please do like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. And comment down below what's the worst event that happened in one of your missions when you've been an adventuring party in Cthulhu, Delta Green, or something else. What's gone terribly wrong, but somehow the players seem to get away with it. Until next time, dear listeners, thanks very much. This has been Unconventional GMs.